Welcome to our YouTube channel. Here, we bring you engaging and informative content on a variety of topics. Whether you're here to learn something new, or simply looking to be entertained, we've got you covered. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our community. In this video we will tell a very interesting story entitled The Spellbreaker, a magical journey through the enchanted forest. Lily had always been curious about the forbidden forest that lay just beyond the edge of her village. She had heard stories about the strange and wondrous things that could be found within its dark and tangled depths, stories of talking animals, hidden treasure, and magical creatures. But her parents had always warned her to stay away, telling her that the forest was dangerous and that she could get lost or hurt if she ventured inside. But Lily was not one to be deterred by warnings, and so one day, when she found herself alone and bored, she made up her mind to sneak into the forest and see what wonders lay within. She set out early in the morning, before her parents had even woken up, and slipped past the edge of the village and into the trees. The forest was dark and quiet, and the only sounds were the rustling of leaves and the chirping of birds. But Lily was not afraid. She had always been brave and adventurous, and the thought of discovering something new filled her with excitement. As she walked deeper into the forest, Lily noticed that the trees grew taller and thicker, their branches twisting and turning in strange and fantastical ways. She saw flowers with petals that glowed like jewels, and mushrooms that shone with an eerie light. And then, suddenly, she stumbled upon a clearing, unlike any she had ever seen before. In the center of the clearing stood a massive tree, with a thick trunk that was wider than 10 men standing side by side. And at the base of the trunk was a small door, no larger than a mouse hole. Lily approached the door, feeling a thrill of excitement and curiosity. She bent down and peered through the opening, and to her amazement, she saw a tiny world inside the tree. It was a world of wonder and enchantment, a world of magic. Without hesitation, Lily crawled through the door and into the enchanted world beyond, ready to embark on the adventure of a lifetime. As Lily crawled through the tiny door at the base of the massive tree, she found herself in a world unlike any she had ever seen before. The enchanted world was filled with the most beautiful and wondrous things she could ever imagine. The clearing was filled with fragrant flowers, their petals as large as her head, and delicate trees with leaves that sparkled in the sunlight. The air was filled with the sweet sound of chirping birds and the gentle hum of insects. In the center of the clearing, there was a small pond with crystal clear water, and at its edge, there was a group of fairies who were playing and dancing around the water. Lily watched in amazement as the fairies danced and twirled, their wings flapping and shimmering in the sunlight. She had never seen anything so magical and beautiful in her life. Suddenly, an old owl landed on a branch above her head. Lily jumped, startled, but the owl calmed her with his wise and kind voice. "Welcome to the enchanted forest, my child," the owl said. "I am the wise old owl, and I have been watching over this forest for many years." Lily introduced herself and told the owl about how she had always been curious about the enchanted forest. The owl listened intently and then warned her about an evil witch who had cast a spell over the forest, causing all the magic to slowly disappear. "The forest needs your help, Lily," the owl said. "Will you be brave and help us break the witch's spell?" Lily thought for a moment and then nodded her head firmly. She knew that this was the adventure she had been waiting for, and she was determined to help save the enchanted forest. The wise old owl smiled and said, "Very well then, we shall embark on a quest to break the witch's spell. But be warned, Lily, the quest will be long and dangerous. Are you ready?" Lily took a deep breath and said, "I'm ready. Let's do this." And with that, she and the wise old owl set out on their magical adventure through the enchanted forest. As they walked deeper into the enchanted forest, Lily and the wise old owl encountered many magical creatures. There were talking animals, such as squirrels and rabbits, who helped them along the way. There were also mischievous fairies who played pranks on them but ultimately helped them as well. As they journeyed deeper into the forest, Lily was amazed by the owl's vast knowledge of the enchanted world. He seemed to know everything about the creatures they met, the plants they saw, and the history of the forest. "Where did you learn all of this?" Lily asked the owl. The wise old owl smiled and said, "I have lived in this forest for many years, Lily. I have seen many things and learned much in my time here." Lily was impressed by the owl's wisdom and knowledge, and she began to realize just how important he was to the enchanted forest. Without his guidance, she would surely be lost. As they walked, the owl taught Lily about the different types of magic that existed in the enchanted world. He showed her how to cast spells, brew potions, and use magical objects. Lily was a quick learner, and she soaked up the knowledge like a sponge. The owl also warned her about the dangers they might encounter on their quest. He told her about the treacherous paths that lay ahead, the hidden traps that the witch had set, and the creatures that had been corrupted by the witch's evil magic. Lily was a bit scared by the prospect of danger, but she knew that she had the wise old owl by her side. With his knowledge and guidance, she was sure that they could overcome anything that stood in their way. As the sun began to set, the owl led Lily to a small clearing where they could rest for the night. They built a fire and settled down to eat some food that Lily had brought with her. As they ate, Lily thanked the owl for all his help and guidance. "You're the wisest creature I've ever met," she said. The owl smiled and replied, "Thank you, Lily. But remember, wisdom is not just about knowledge. It's also about using that knowledge to help others and make the world a better place." With those words, Lily knew that she was not just on an adventure. She was on a quest to make a difference in the enchanted forest, and she was determined to succeed. As the sun rose the next morning, Lily and the wise old owl set out on their quest to break the witch's spell. They followed a narrow path deeper into the forest, their eyes and ears alert for any signs of danger. They soon came to a deep ravine, and the only way across was by a narrow bridge made of vines. The bridge swayed precariously with every step they took, and the drop below was dizzyingly deep. Lily was scared, but the wise old owl reassured her that they could make it across safely if they moved slowly and carefully. As they crossed the bridge, a gust of wind suddenly blew them off course. Lily lost her balance and started to fall, but the wise old owl swooped down and caught her in his talons. He flew her safely across the rest of the bridge, and they landed on the other side, shaken but unharmed. As they continued their journey, they encountered more and more obstacles. They had to cross a raging river, climb a steep cliff, and navigate through a dense thicket of thorns. But with the wise old owl's guidance and Lily's determination, they managed to overcome every obstacle they faced. Finally, they came to the edge of a deep, dark forest. The air was thick with the smell of decay, and the trees were twisted and gnarled. Lily shuddered at the sight of it, but the wise old owl told her that they had no choice but to enter. "This is where the witch lives," he said. "We must confront her and break her spell if we are to save the enchanted forest." Lily took a deep breath and followed the owl into the dark forest. As they walked, the air grew colder, and the trees grew taller and darker. The forest was eerily quiet, and Lily could feel a sense of foreboding growing within her. Suddenly, they heard a rustling in the bushes. Lily and the wise old owl froze, ready for whatever might come. but it was just a small rabbit, hopping out from its hiding place. "Who are you?" the rabbit asked, looking up at Lily and the owl. "We're here to confront the witch and break her spell," Lily said. The rabbit looked surprised. "You're very brave," he said. "No one has ever dared to challenge the witch before." Lily and the wise old owl exchanged a determined look. They knew that they had to be brave and face the witch, no matter what lay ahead. And so, with renewed determination, they continued their quest deep into the heart of the dark forest. Lily and the wise old owl trudged through the dark forest, their eyes peeled for any sign of the witch's lair. After hours of searching, they finally stumbled upon a towering mountain, its peak shrouded in thick fog. "This is it," the wise old owl said, his voice low and serious. "The witch's lair lies beyond that mountain." Lily's heart raced with excitement and fear. She knew that the mountain would be a dangerous climb, but she was determined to break the witch's spell and save the enchanted forest. As they began to ascend the mountain, the air grew colder, and the wind picked up, whipping Lily's hair into her face. The rocks were treacherous, and Lily slipped and slid several times before finally finding a foothold. The higher they climbed, the more dangerous the ascent became. Lily and the owl had to navigate treacherous rock formations and steep inclines. But they were determined to reach the top, no matter the cost. As they approached the peak, the fog grew thicker, and Lily could barely see the owl's wings as he soared ahead. Suddenly, a deafening roar shook the mountain, causing the ground to tremble beneath their feet. A monstrous dragon appeared, breathing fire and smoke, blocking their path. Lily froze in terror, but the wise old owl swooped in front of her, his sharp talons at the ready. The owl engaged in a fierce battle with the dragon, dodging its flames and striking it with his sharp claws. Lily watched, her heart in her throat, as the two creatures fought tooth and nail. Finally, with a mighty screech, the owl defeated the dragon. Its body tumbled down the mountain, and the ground shook as it hit the bottom. Lily and the owl continued to climb, the witch's lair now in sight. As they approached, the air grew colder, and a sense of danger filled the air. But Lily steeled herself for the final battle, determined to break the witch's spell and save the enchanted forest. Lily and the wise old owl arrived at the entrance of the witch's lair. It was a dark and ominous place, with vines creeping up the walls and a musty smell emanating from within. Taking a deep breath, Lily and the owl entered the lair, their eyes scanning the room for any sign of the witch. As they moved forward, they suddenly heard a cackling laugh coming from behind them. They whirled around, and there she was, the witch herself, standing on a raised platform, with a wicked grin on her face. "So, you've come to challenge me, have you?" the witch sneered. Lily stood her ground, her heart pounding in her chest. She knew that this was the moment she had been waiting for. "I demand that you release the enchanted forest from your spell," Lily said, her voice shaking slightly. The witch laughed. "Release the enchanted forest? Why on earth would I do that? It's mine to control, and I will do with it as I please." Lily felt a surge of anger at the witch's words. She couldn't let the witch continue to harm the forest and its inhabitants. With a determined look, she charged at the witch. The witch threw a bolt of lightning at Lily, but the wise old owl swooped in, deflecting the attack with his wings. Lily kept charging, and the witch retaliated with a gust of wind, but Lily dodged it with a quick sidestep. The two continued to battle, their spells and attacks flying back and forth. The witch seemed to have the upper hand, with her powerful magic and dark spells, but Lily was determined to prevail. Finally, Lily cast a powerful spell, causing the witch to stumble back, her wand flying out of her hand. Lily quickly grabbed the wand, holding it up triumphantly. With the witch defeated and her wand in hand, Lily and the owl rushed out of the lair, eager to undo the spell and restore the enchanted forest. As they raced back towards the forest, they came upon a raging river that had flooded its banks. The water was high and fast, and there seemed to be no way to cross it. But with the help of her newfound magic, Lily cast a spell, and a small bridge appeared over the rushing water. The wise old owl and Lily crossed the bridge safely, the magical barrier protecting them from the powerful current. Finally, they arrived at the heart of the enchanted forest, and Lily used the witch's wand to break the spell. The trees suddenly sprang to life, their leaves and branches rustling with joy. The animals emerged from their hiding places, frolicking in the newly restored beauty of their home. Lily and the wise old owl watched in amazement as the forest was transformed before their very eyes. They had completed their quest, and the enchanted forest was saved from the witch's evil spell. As Lily and the wise old owl were about to leave the enchanted forest, they heard a loud roar coming from the depths of the forest. The roar was so loud that the ground shook beneath their feet, and the birds flew out of the trees in terror. Lily and the owl exchanged a worried glance. They knew they had to investigate the source of the noise, but they also knew that danger lurked in the enchanted forest. They cautiously moved towards the direction of the roar, their hearts pounding with fear. As they approached, they saw a massive beast with razor-sharp teeth and fiery red eyes. It was the most terrifying creature they had ever seen. The beast growled menacingly, and Lily could feel her legs shaking beneath her. But she knew that she couldn't let her fear take control. She had come too far to give up now. With a trembling hand, Lily reached for the witch's wand, and the owl stood by her side, ready to fight. Lily raised the wand and spoke the incantation she had memorized. A beam of light shot from the wand, illuminating the beast's snarling face. The beast recoiled in surprise, but then charged at Lily and the owl with even more ferocity. The two friends dodged and weaved, trying to avoid the beast's sharp claws and teeth. Lily continued to cast spells, but they seemed to have no effect on the fierce beast. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, Lily remembered something the wise old owl had said to her earlier. Sometimes the strongest magic is not in the spell, but in the heart. With that thought in mind, Lily closed her eyes and focused all her energy on the task at hand. She felt a surge of power, and when she opened her eyes, the beast was frozen in place, as if time had stopped. Lily knew she had only a few moments to act, so she quickly cast a spell that sent the beast far away from the enchanted forest. The beast was gone, and the forest was once again safe. Lily and the wise old owl shared a relieved smile. They had faced their fears and emerged victorious. As they made their way out of the enchanted forest, they knew that they would always remember the magical adventure they had shared together. After their encounter with the fierce beast, Lily and the wise old owl finally made it out of the enchanted forest. They were both exhausted but also exhilarated by their adventure. Lily realized that they were getting close to the end of their quest, and all they needed was the final ingredient for the potion. She remembered what the witch had told her: the final ingredient can be found at the top of the highest mountain in the land. Lily and the owl looked up at the towering peak that loomed in front of them. It seemed impossible to climb, but they knew they had no choice. They started to make their way up the mountain, carefully avoiding the treacherous cliffs and slippery rocks. It was a grueling climb, and they were both exhausted, but they refused to give up. Finally, they reached the top of the mountain, where they found a small cave. Inside the cave, they found a beautiful crystal that glimmered in the dim light. It was the final ingredient they needed for the potion. Lily carefully picked up the crystal, and as she did, she felt a surge of power. She knew that the potion was going to be powerful indeed. With the final ingredient in hand, Lily and the owl made their way back to the. When they arrived, the witch was waiting for them with a smile. "I see you have everything you need for the potion," the witch said. "Now, let's get to work." Lily watched as the witch mixed the ingredients together in a large cauldron, chanting incantations as she stirred the potion. The air was thick with magic, and Lily could feel her heart racing with excitement. Finally, the potion was ready. The witch poured it into a small vial and handed it to Lily. "Drink this, my dear," the witch said. "It will grant you the power you seek." Lily took the vial and drank the potion in one gulp. She felt a surge of energy, and her senses became sharper than ever before. She knew that she was now ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As Lily and the wise old owl said goodbye to the witch and started on their journey home, Lily knew that she would always treasure the memories of her magical adventure through the enchanted forest. She had learned so much about herself and the power of magic. Lily and the wise old owl traveled back to the village, where they found that the curse still loomed over the town. The villagers were still asleep, and there was no sign of the evil sorcerer. Lily knew that it was up to her to break the spell and defeat the sorcerer. She took a deep breath and walked toward. She held up the vial containing the potion and called out to the sorcerer. "Show yourself," she shouted. "I have what I need to defeat you." Suddenly, the sorcerer appeared before her, his eyes blazing with anger. "You may have the potion, but you cannot defeat me," he snarled. Lily stood her ground, her heart pounding with fear and determination. She knew that this was her moment to shine. She uncorked the vial and drank the potion once more. She felt a surge of power coursing through her veins, and she knew that she was now more powerful than ever before. The sorcerer attacked her with all his might, but Lily was ready. She dodged his spells and retaliated with her own, sending powerful blasts of energy towards him. Finally, Lily landed the final blow, and the sorcerer crumpled to the ground, defeated. The curse slowly started to wake up from their slumber. They looked around in confusion, wondering what had happened. Lily stepped forward and explained everything. She told them about her adventure. The villagers were amazed and grateful, and they thanked Lily for her bravery and heroism. From that day forward, Lily was known as a hero throughout the land. She had defeated the evil sorcerer and broken the curse, bringing light and hope back to the town. As Lily sat in her home, reflecting on her adventure, she knew that she would never forget the lessons she had learned. She had discovered the true power of magic and the strength that lies within oneself. And she knew that she would always be ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. After saving the village and defeating the evil sorcerer, Lily found herself thinking about the enchanted forest more and more. She couldn't shake the feeling that there was still more magic to be discovered there. One day, she decided to return to the forest. She knew that it was a risky move, but she couldn't resist the urge to explore its mysteries once more. As she entered the forest, she felt a sense of familiarity wash over her. The trees were just as tall, the flowers just as vibrant, and the air just as magical. She wandered deeper into the forest, letting her instincts guide her. Suddenly, she stumbled upon a hidden grove, surrounded by a ring of mushrooms. As she stepped inside the grove, she felt a rush of energy surround her. She closed her eyes and let the magic wash over her. Thanks for watching our videos. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and leave a comment with your thoughts. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. We appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you in the next video.